Oh, I just want to know.
Is it live? What's going on, guys?
Yes, live.
It's the AyoPodcast. We are back today to talk about some sports. So, kick back, play some 2K. Probably the last time we played some 2K16, 2K17 right around the corner, and we'll talk some sports. Welcome, man. You're sipping on some Caesar, assuming.
Some iced tea.
Oh, iced tea, same thing, right?
Some syrup? Yeah, you're bugging.
Why you
You're bugging.
Why'd you say what's up, Wolf?
Yeah, it was good.
Wow. So you are. It was.
It was good, everybody. It was good, everybody. This is a late week, but we got NFL starting tomorrow. Friday, we got 2K17 prelude. And then Sunday, we got the NFL first couple of games, of course. And then freaking next Monday. Shit, it's lit.
Lo, why don't you introduce yourself on your own channel, man?
What's up, people? Shout out to everybody who support the channel. Shout out to everybody who watching the podcast. Shout out to all the people who thought that I said Vince Carter was a role player. Shout out to everybody, yo. And let's get into the podcast, yo.
Did you say that?
No, I said Vince Carter's numbers were comparable to those of a role player, and it was like, oh my God, he's a role player.
You're wrong though, because over 20 points a game is not a role player. But anyway,
I said comparable to a role player though.
Nah, that's not comparable.
Yeah, so real quick. What is Danilo Gallinari?
He's a starter.
He's like the star player on that team.
Exactly. He's literally like the best player on that Nuggets team. Why you bring up Danilo Gallinari anyways?
Because like Will Barton. Will Barton might be a role player.
No, Danilo Gallinari is a role player.
He averages 18 points per game.
Just because you average, I mean that's you. Okay, let me think of somebody else. What is Ryan? Well, what's Ryan Anderson?
He's a role player.
Okay, Ryan Anderson averages 17 points a game.
Yeah, on a bum ass team where a power forward couldn't stay healthy, so he was playing starter minutes.
Okay, so what about JJ Redick?
He's a starter.
JJ Redick's a baller.
But I mean, they can still be role players and start.
Yo, you need to before you do your underrated list, you need to consider JJ Redick. That guy's mad underrated defensively. Anyway.
Any whoosies. We'll just keep going. Oh no, we'll just keep going. We'll just keep going.
Oh man.
I'm just saying, I watched the Clipper games I watched. It wasn't like he was just a 3-player. He wasn't Klay Thompson. Yo, who has the ball? I hear a bong in the background, some shit.
My bad. I'm just trying to let it up.
Wow. All right. Anyway, we'll get started. You want to do opposite this week? We'll do NBA first, then we'll get into NFL.
How much NBA NFL?
There's not. Well, there's a decent amount. It might be like 10 minutes of NFL. But we'll start with the NBA at least. Waffle has a segment called Waffle's Weekly NFL Scoop.
Yo.
Oh, okay. So Chris Bosh, news seems to be good so far. That he'll be playing, he'll be healthy, and even in the Raptors series, second round of the playoffs, he was saying, get me back out on the court. But the trainer and pretty much the doctor's like, you need to relax, all right? This is your life on the line. So it looks like he's cleared and ready to go. Keep in mind, he had 2 blood clots, if I'm not mistaken. So he didn't just have one like Varejao. He had 2. So obviously something that can end your life. What do y'all think about that, man? Bosh back healthy for the Heat. What does that mean for the NBA?
For the NBA,
or for him?
I mean, for the Heat, and I guess the NBA. I mean, it puts the Miami Heat back into playoff contention. But that team needs more than just Bosh at this point to push it to where they need to push it. But I mean, yeah, it just means that they're in playoff contention, and hopefully he can stay healthy throughout the whole entire season. But I mean, I think that's all it means for the NBA. That Miami is probably a lock in for the playoffs. That's it, though.
All right, off.
They're not making the playoffs even with Chris Bosh.
Oh wow,
you don't think so?
Nah, man. They need someone else, bro. I mean, the thing about when the players they lost, even if they got Chris Bosh back, I still don't think they'd have enough to make the 8th seed in the East. I mean, they're gonna be a competitive team. Sam Whiteside, I don't know what he's gonna be doing out there. Going Dragic.
What? You don't know what he's gonna be doing out there.
we know what he's gonna be doing, but you know what?
I was about to say.
You know Hassan Whiteside. This nigga just loses himself on the court sometimes. This nigga just walking around like a gumbo guy. When you look at the Heat, man, yeah, damn, who's moving their mic like that?
I thought that was you.
That wasn't me. Hell no.
That was my fault. My bad.
But when you look at the Heat, it's like compare them to the other teams, and they remind me kind of like a sort of lesser Bulls team because they got these pieces now. So these Heat fans are gonna be like, you know, we have a chance, bro. We have a chance, but in reality, they don't really have a chance. I mean, let's be real. The Heat's plan was to really just kill the season off. But now that Chris Bosh is coming back, they can't. You know, they're gonna have to respect this decision.
That sounds like more like New York fans. No, we're gonna make the playoffs. We're gonna make the playoffs, and then y'all don't make the playoffs.
No. That's not what New York. The New York
with that overrated player named Carmelo.
No. There's a difference between believing you're gonna make the playoffs and they better make the playoffs because they don't make the playoffs. I'm calling every single player on this team overrated.
Stop. Wow, that's OD. I think they're gonna make the playoffs though.
I'll make the other side of the argument from Waffle. I don't know how much you guys watched the Raptors when Chris Bosh was on it, but when he was called CB4 and he used to be the king of Canada, and that guy was a low post machine with the little up and under hezzy. So that guy, in a healthy season, right before he got injured, I think that was the same year that the Bulls sneaked into the playoffs. It was the year that they went. It was that great series between the Bulls and the Celtics that year. That year, the Raptors were second, almost first in the standings, led by Bosh alone. So I've seen him lead a team before. It's going to be a little bit different because in Toronto, we're not talking about the same Bosh. He's adapted for sure.
I'm about to say that was nearly a decade ago.
I don't expect him to be a low throw. He's not going to be a low post threat no more because especially now with Hassan Whiteside in the same paint, like he's not going to have that same sort of room. But I think people are underestimating his ability to lead a team. He's done it in the past. And, of course, when you play with LeBron and Dwayne Wade, you're not going to be out there just shooting 25 field goals per game. But this is the guy. If you don't think that Heat team with a healthy Bosh can make the playoffs, and on top of that, it's not like he has nobody on his team. He still has supporting cast. I mean, Hassan Whiteside re-signed. Dragic, by the way, who I thought was going to be trash with the Heat, actually performed really well in the playoffs last year. There's a lot of people that have the potential to step up for this team. It's going to either go really good or really bad for them, and I just think a lot of people aren't seeing the really good side of things just because they did lose players like Dwayne Wade.
Oh, word like Dion Waiters?
Well, you know what I mean, man. You win some, you lose some, but I mean now this time Bosh is gonna be healthy because you never know how the playoffs would have went if there was a healthy Bosh or a healthy Whiteside for that matter because he got injured in the game too.
I mean, I think if they had a healthy Bosh, I think could push it all the way to the conference finals. So I think that team was. I mean, it's obvious that they could push it to the conference finals because they took both series to Game 7. So it's not like they were struggling, you know, in the playoffs. They were pushing what they had as far as they could go. But I think with Bosh, I think that's enough, especially because both conferences at this point seem like it's wide open towards the end of the playoff seeding, and I don't really see nobody. I don't see either conference having like a solid 7 to 8 teams that's going to make the playoffs. So because of that, if Bosh is healthy and he can play the whole entire season, then I'll give them the look for the playoffs.
So, I mean, that on top of the fact that, first of all, nobody knew Josh Richardson was going to be any sort of good. And they still have Winslow on that team. So they lost, but they don't pretend like they don't have talent on that team or potential talent. That Heat team is still – I think some people are crossing them out of the playoffs a little too quickly. That's all.
I just thought what y'all said. Y'all said who said Danilo Gallinari is a star?
I said he's the star of the team.
Who said he's
Y'all are bugging.
Because there has to be a star of each team.
It doesn't have. No, it doesn't. No, it does not.
It's not an all-star. It's not an all-star. It's a little lower than an all-star. It's just a star. You're just 80 overall.
He's a starter. He's not a star.
No. Agent said he's a star. That's what he said.
Star of the team, relative to the team, he's the star.
Oh yeah, he's a star.
I was specific with my words.
I mean, but I think if you put him on, all right, fine. I still feel like he's a role player. But what is Chandler Parsons? Because there's role players. Go.
I was gonna say if you throw him on Golden State, he'll be a role player. But unless you're 6th or 7th on the rotation, like you can literally by definition can't be a role player starting in the starting line.
Yeah, you can't. If you look at the definition of a role player in the NBA, you can be starting in the league.
Bro.
I'm just saying. I don't know the way because a lot of people got upset.
He's probably a role player on other teams. I see what you're saying, but on the team he's on right now, he's not a role player.
So when Chandler Parsons was on the Houston Rockets with James Harden and Dwight Howard, what was he?
He's a starter.
He's a starter.
Well, I don't implement starter in my thing. I see it as superstar, all-star. Listen, can I finish, nigga?
I'm
superstar, all-star, star, then role player, then sixth man, then bench.
Man, that doesn't make any. I mean, that's you. Then that's you.
What? Even 2K does it differently than that. 2K does it. There's superstar, there's all-star, there's star, and then there's starter, right? A starter is a starting caliber player that could play as a starter. And that's Gallinari. But I mean,
it doesn't have to be
if you put him on a team like Golden State, he'll average like 11 points and then he'll be a role player. But on the Nuggets, like he's one of the main guys. Him and Wilson Chandler, and I think. So
you have to come off the in your definition. You have to come off the bench to be
you have to role player to be a role player, and you legitimately can't be the guy expected to score the most points on your team and be the role player of that team.
Zach Randolph is a starter and a role player at the same time.
Who?
Zach Randolph.
See, that don't make no sense. That's just that. How
does it make no sense? How does it make no sense? He's not going to be able to start on every NBA team.
That doesn't make no sense, yeah.
Well, Gallinari isn't going to be expected to start on every NBA team.
I think we all just had different definitions of what a role player is. Because Waffle, if he says he was a role player,
that don't make no sense.
Well, I'm saying that because he's older in his career and he's not going to be able to play minutes anyway, so. I mean, he's still efficient.
But again, like I said, Ryan Anderson though he doesn't start. Neither does he play that many minutes, but he still goes out there and gets 17 minutes.
Gotham might have a point.
But bench players can still put up 17 points though.
Yeah, they can.
Okay, but when I said Vince Carter's numbers were comparable to role players, and you're telling me that Brian Anderson's a role player and he put up 17 points, is that not comparable to 20?
But Vince Carter's putting up like 21, 6, and 5 though. That's the difference.
You just relegated him. A role player, you can expect to get like 7 to 14 points per game. Like once you get more than that, like you're a little bit more than a role player. Like you're not just doing.
So what's it? So Ryan Anderson isn't a role player no more then?
I don't think he never was a role player.
What team's Ryan Anderson? He plays for Houston right now, right?
Yeah, he plays.
No, I don't think he's a role player anymore. There's no scores on that team.
Well, I mean, yes, last year when he was coming off the bench,
But last year, Anthony Davis was injured.
Anthony Davis
was playing starter minutes a lot.
No, he wasn't. So he was playing 28 minutes.
Whether he was starting or not, he was playing more than he would have if Anthony Davis was alive.
He played 28 minutes. What are you saying?
Here's the thing. What you're doing is you're taking the highest fucking role player possible, and you're stretching the definition of a role player to do that, and then you're comparing him to Vince.
But obviously, I wouldn't be like look at fucking. I don't even know like who else to but obviously I wouldn't be like saying look at the weakest role player to compare him to Vince Carter. All I'm saying is people made it seem like I jumped out the window when I said that somebody who put up 20 points in 40 minutes of play. Vince Carter almost played 40 minutes. He got 20 points. If you put a role player on the court for 40 minutes, you don't think they can get 20 points? Okay.
You're taking the situation out of context. But what you should have really done is just compare Vince Carter's numbers to what you consider a role player. Then people would have been like, whatever.
No, niggas don't know what they're talking about.
Anyway, there was a lot of points in that video where I was like, I don't know about that, Law.
You know, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, I got my list ready, nigga.
Yo, Carmelo Anthony overrated. I don't care what you say.
Yeah,
he overrated.
That's your opinion, boy.
No, he still think that guy can carry a team.
Did I say he could carry a team? When did I say that?
But when could he ever
when can any player alone carry a team by themselves? Unless they're a superstar.
I didn't say by himself.
So he's not. So Melo was never a superstar.
Oh, he definitely.
How many times? I mean, he was.
What did he say? Was Melo ever a superstar
in Denver?
I'm asking this man Waffleman the question.
Back in 2012, 2013, when he averaged 28 points, that was a superstar level Carmelo.
So he was a superstar at one point.
No shit, nigga. What the fuck?
Okay, but you just said the he dragged that team pretty far though. Okay, I'll give you that.
Exactly.
That Denver team is
With
phenomenal.
nobody.
But that Denver team was good. Let's not act like he didn't have nobody on that team. As a side note, but okay.
No, but
All right, and that team went to the Western Conference Finals.
1 year.
Okay, nigga, what the fuck?
He can't make it past the first round more than 1 year.
Nigga, is everyone playing the same every year though?
Difference between 1 year to the next, then yeah. What are you saying?
No, come
You're
on.
bugging.
We don't
You're
need to
bugging.
have a role player debate right now.
You're bugging.
I
You're
think
bugging.
he's.
Tell me that's the Chris Paul then.
Say it again.
Nah, that's good. You good.
Oh wow.
No, wait. What did he say? I didn't hear what he said. Is it something about Chris Paul? I know Chris Paul got past the first round more times than Melo. So what do you?
But has he ever to conference finals? Nope. Nigga been on the same team for 5 years now for the same players. Still hasn't advanced.
What are you guys doing right now?
How many times he been healthy throughout the playoffs?
Oh my god.
How many times
Is that my problem though? Is that my fault though?
But that's part of the argument that you're making though.
All right, but why is he healthy in the regular season, not in the playoffs?
You think he determines that? Oh, I'm gonna get hurt right here.
Something must be going on.
You're bugging.
He needs to just come to the Knicks in the offseason. That's it.
Oh, stop! Yeah, you're bugging.
Because that worked out so good for Melo, right?
Oh no, that's gonna work good for CP3.
Y'all got Rose. Y'all can keep Rose. We'll move on. So why Mike? Okay, here's an interesting question because Mike Conley is, I think, the highest paid athlete right now, if I'm not mistaken.
No, LeBron is nothing.
Well, yeah, and I know per year LeBron is, but I mean,
he had the
in
biggest
terms of
contract.
total contract.
Yeah.
It's Mike Conley, and so there's a lot of people that used to see Mike Conley as this really underrated player, but now that he got this big check, I don't know if you guys follow him on Twitter, but everybody says underneath his tweets is like, man, you're fucking overpaid, yo. Man, you getting paid a lot of money, yo. Man, fuck you. What kind of 84 overall gets this kind of money? So there's a lot of people that just went from, this man's underrated to this man is wildly overrated just because of his contract. Does that change Mike Conley's status?
I don't think it changes his status because he gets paid the most, but other players were getting paid a lot of money before. I can't name them right now, but I mean,
Yeah, you can. Carmelo Anthony, you can name.
Chandler Parsons was one of those players. I was like, how the fuck did you get that?
Carmelo Anthony, he can name him. Carmelo Anthony.
But he got paid after he was averaging 27 points per game. So what are you saying?
But it's still Carmelo. Carmelo's getting paid a lot of money though. I'm just saying.
Okay, stop. Don't go back to that. Don't go back to it.
You're not making any sense.
All right,
Mike Conley. I mean, he had one season where he averaged 17 points per game. I understand he's in the Western Conference, so there's a lot of stacked point guards over there. So Mike Conley is like on the outside looking in when you're talking about like top 5 point guards in the Western Conference. But he is a top 15 point guard in the league. I mean, it's not like I don't know, man. He's just a weird character because he's good and he's a starting point guard. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he's a star level point guard, but he's a starting point guard, plays both ends of the floor. And, like I said in my video that I uploaded today, sometimes the market might limit you on, your marketability. So players even though OKC is that's a small market right there, combine the fact that Westbrook and Durant are both superstars in that town, that city comes alive. But Conley with that Grizzlies team, the Grizzlies aren't a flashy team, don't have any superstars. They got players like Marc Gasol, who's like, eh. You look at Zach Randolph, is like, eh. Ain't nobody wants to go in the NBA and be like, yo, I'm gonna buy this ticket, watch this Grizzlies team. We're about to watch Gasol is about to be lit. Ain't nobody saying that, bro. That's why
this is a Marc Gasol fan we're angry right now.
I agree. I think I would say this about Conley. I think Conley is a star. I think he's good enough. He's borderline an all-star. What he's able to do for that team, and like Waffle said, when you're on that team like that and you're unable to, you're able to get the TV time that certain teams like the Knicks get, or you're unable to get the recognition because of wherever your team is located at. Unfortunately, you go unnoticed. Personally, the amount of money he gets paid is contributed to the agent that he has. If the agent that he has can go in there and convince the team to give him a max contract, then kudos to him. That has nothing to do with how he's overrated now. I think people are starting to understand his worth to a team, especially on the defensive end, and how he facilitates and how he knows how to play his role on the court. He has a huge impact on the Grizzlies, but I don't think that because he gets a max contract now, all of a sudden he's overrated. You know what I'm saying?
All right, guys, I got y'all with the big people words right now because I just had my first day of class, walked into advanced sport finance class, and we're talking about stocks in the market. There's two different types of value in the NBA. There is the value a player has to his team, and in that respect, I think we can agree Mike Conley's underrated. That guy's a great defender, and he's a really solid offensive player. You can rely on him to just be there every single day. There's no, of course, you know, he'll have bad games, he'll have good games, but that's the kind of player you don't expect to drop off for an entire fucking season like Carmelo.
True. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
And on the other hand, there's his market value, and in that respect, he's probably at this point the most overpriced player in the NBA because I don't think you can look at the percentage of the cap on his team he takes up and be like, no, that was a good decision. Like, he's getting paid so much that if there aren't 12 or 13 other point guards at this point getting paid that amount of money, then he'll be, relative to at least those players, overpaid. So, I mean, I guess there's two different ways to look at it, but y'all need to relax in his Twitter page, all right? Relax, yo. The guy's making money. Be happy for him. Don't sit there and be mad that you're not making 150 mil. That's all I see.
I think the thing though with Conley is, like, I'll defend him on this end. That the contract that they signed was obviously to make up for where people project this cap to be in the next 2 or 3 years. And regardless if it jumps up as high as they think it's going to jump up, it's still going to continue to go up at a pretty high rate at this point. And so I think they want to make sure that they make up for whatever they will be that they won't be able to pay him because he's on a long-term contract. And so they sign him to max. But just like with Melo's contract, what Melo was signed to max when he first signed a few years ago is no longer max money no more. So eventually Mike Conley, where he gets paid, is not going to be that much money. So I don't really think that, you know, at this moment right now it seems crazy, but 2 or 3 years down his contract, it's not going to be as crazy as a lot of people.
Wow, there's a lot of people that overestimated the cap. The cap that we thought in free agency we were going to get next year was like wildly overestimated to some of the, because they'll keep estimating. You don't really know until the commissioner says something based on how much the league made. But as Most Def once very popularly said in his song Mathematics, even numbers have ceilings. And that guy right there, no matter which way you look at it, is getting paid more than what I think he provides for the team. But I feel like if you don't make that decision and re-sign him, another team would, and then you're in an even worse position now where you're out of a point guard, and now Marc Gasol and Zebo want to leave as well. And so now you're officially being rebuild mode if you lose Mike Conley. So, I mean, at least they got to keep him around. And we'll see if it works out. We'll see if he can live up to the contract, but I highly doubt he'd be able to.
True.
It's always a good day when you can quote Most Def. We'll switch it up. Talk about Chandler Parsons for a little bit. He got the max contract. For those who don't know, in the NBA CBA, there's seniority. So the longer you're in the league, the more money you can make. I think once you pass 10 years pro, you can, like LeBron did, make the most amount of money. And so Chandler Parsons, at least for the amount of time he's been in the league, made the most he can for, 3 or 4 years? I think it was a 3-year, $94 million, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So is that contract overpriced for Chandler Parsons?
Is Chandler Parsons a role player, or is he? What is he?
The starter.
He's a star. I forgot y'all have another tier of rating a player, ranking a player.
Another tier.
I mean, compared to me, it is another tier. But I don't know. I feel like Chandler Parsons. I don't know, because I tried to give Parsons the benefit of the doubt. Last year he was injured. It's obvious when he's healthy what he brings to a team. He's a really, really solid player. But hopefully that Memphis Grizzly team, it looks better than what it normally looks like. Mike Conley at point. I don't know who they have as shooting guard. I know they had Tony Allen, but I don't think they really start him anymore. And then you have Parsons at 3. He can flex at 4. You can take Zebo out and kind of play Marc Gasol at 5 and flex with Parsons at the 4. And they can play a little bit with their lineup. But the biggest thing for them over the course of now what seems like 5-6 years at this point was their scoring ability on the perimeter. And so if they felt like it was necessary to pay him that type of money and that type of contract, and like you said, what he's going to be able to do for that team specifically, I don't think it's that overpriced. I think people are just unfamiliar with these numbers. I think that's all it is, though.
Yeah, I mean, I'm talking about My bad. I fucked up right there. Did you understand what I said? Nope. Anyways.
Did you say something?
Wow, this guy.
Like I said, Parsons is a starter. I thought he got paid a little bit, I mean, for what his productivity was last season, I wouldn't pay that amount for Chandler Parsons. I don't trust what he's going to do on the floor anymore. But the Grizzlies are basically paying for what they think he's going to do. And that's why they pay Conley a lot of money because, Conley, if they didn't get Conley, they would have had, no point guard. So they still believe they could contend in the Western Conference. So they got Conley, and they decided to make a push for a small forward after, trading Courtney Lee over the trade deadline and, losing their small forward. Who was their small forward before? Matt Barnes. They lost Matt Barnes, who wasn't really even, a really good small forward. And they still got Vince Carter coming off the bench. So they're going to try to make a run at the playoffs. And, of course, last season, you saw what they did at the end of the season without all their players missing, and they still made the playoffs. So with all their players healthy this season, they could be a team to watch out for.
You mentioned something. You said, you triggered something I was thinking while you were talking. Wouldn't this be the perfect time for them to rebuild? Like, how the fuck can you be an NBA team right now and not be thinking rebuild? I don't understand. How do you look at Golden State now that has Kevin Durant, Draymond Green, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and then a bunch of other good players after that and be like, no, we want to put together this really average team just so we can be eliminated in the first or second round. So I feel like this would have been a good time for them to take a step back. They need to do something different because what they're doing right now, it worked a little bit. They beat some teams, surprised some teams in the playoffs for the past few years. But, I mean, as long as they don't do something big or acquire a huge rookie that grows up to be amazing, like, they have to do something at this point to win it all. And it doesn't seem like, at least by the way that they're being managed, that that's their real goal right now. Because you can't be signing Chandler Parsons to that amount of money and be thinking championship. It's not going to happen.
I don't know. Yeah, I've thought about they need to just rebuild, but I think they got really stuck with the contract that they gave Marc Gasol, and I think y'all know how I feel about Marc Gasol and how people perceived him earlier in the season last year. How ESPN had him top 10, and you already know I'll call that man overrated in a minute.
Whoa, he's all-star.
Oh, stop. Stop.
He got averaging 14 points per game. Is also
14 points a game. What would I say? No, I think they just got stuck with the Marc Gasol contract, and I think they had to continue to move in the direction that they were going into. They couldn't rebuild and start our way over where they were at the moment. So I think this is what they need to do. I think this is what they had to do, and they had to just piece together something as soon as possible so they can at least tell themselves that they're making the right decisions. But unfortunately, in today's NBA, how deep it is with the amount of players and teams, it's kind of hard to rebuild if you're consistently making the playoffs, and I think they're another playoff team. So who knows what they're going to be able to do. But I agree they should have rebuilt, but that Marc Gasol contract about a year or two ago was really stuck them with where they're at right now.
Man, I need to make a YouTube channel dedicated to just critiquing some of these terrible management decisions. I don't know how you can see some of these organizations make terrible decisions and then be like, you know what we need to do as an organization? Just make the same fucking terrible decision we saw that team make and come out with the same result and then turn around and be like, come on, give me that. You just re-sign me. Come on, owners, re-sign me. Because there's some teams that just you're either trash in the NBA or you're the best team. There's no being in the middle, and unless you're on the way to being one of those, then you're doing something wrong. But anyway, that's how I feel about the Grizzlies, at least. The Grizzlies is just a real average team in a tough Western Conference, which might not be their fault. It might take them a few years to adapt. We'll see. Mm-hmm. Anyway, we'll move on. Waffle writes the lists for each podcast. He wrote, most overrated all-time list is overrated.
You like that pun?
Wow.
So I think we were
I'm assuming we're not. I'm about to say I'm assuming we're not talking about that because that man Wolfman, he don't know what he's talking about, so it's cool.
Wolfman, what do you mean?
I mean, listen. Well, first of all, I just put the title there because it's an interesting title.
It's an interesting title.
It is. It's a nice title, man. Well, I was looking at your comment section. Your comment section, man. They got a lot of disagreements, boy. I mean, what you guys say about Oscar Robertson?
How did Biyombo not make that list? I'm playing.
I was about to say, yeah, you bugging. No, I mean, I mean, people disagree. It's cool. I no problem with that. I just feel like I think that people first of all, I think people didn't really listen to the whole entire video and they just made assumptions. Like, for example, the whole Oscar Robertson thing. Like, I never said none of those players were garbage. So let's get clear with that. I never said none of the players were bad, nothing like that. But Oscar Robertson, still a great player. I over-exaggerated when I said anybody could get a triple-double. But him averaging a triple-double in that point of time, obviously, with the amount of possession that he had, and you translate those numbers to where we're at today, it would have been harder for him to get a triple-double. And players in today's NBA and throughout the NBA history could have gotten triple-double in that point in time. But also, I mean, people are like, all you talked about is his triple-double numbers. He wasn't making the playoffs back then. There was only 10 teams, and 8 teams made the playoffs at the league. How do you not make the playoffs? Like, he still wasn't making the playoffs back then. He had Jerry Lucas on his team, though, so it's not like he had nobody.
And what other teams have?
I mean, there was other players back then, but if your whole claim to fame is triple-double and it's not leading into the playoffs when 80% of the league is making the playoffs.
I mean, you never know, boy. You never know what's going on with those teams.
Stop.
I mean, you don't know what players are playing. You don't know if the other teams are better than that team.
Obviously they were, but
I feel like that wasn't. Well, I felt like you were taking that out of context, but then the playoff part kind of solidified what you were talking about. But because I know if you guys are from Canada, you watch. You probably don't anyway. But there's a football league called the CFL, and so it's been around for a while. It's the same thing. And there's like 8 teams or 9 teams, and like 7 of them make the playoffs or some shit. So it's like if you don't make the playoffs, you have to be pretty ass. But at the same time, in those teams, the movement of players and trades and signings, it works a lot differently than the NBA does now. So I'm assuming similar thing in the past where, like, even though they had that one good player, it wasn't that it's just the team wasn't able to build around him. And I don't know if that should really work against him, because I don't think it's like nowadays in the NBA where if you're averaging a triple-double, if you're not able to at least win the games, like, people are going to be like, come on. I think it should have, I don't know. I think maybe you should have went and gotten more context because... But anyway, those Michael Jordan finals numbers were insane.
Exactly. When you started to think about that, it's crazy. I mean, I don't know.
You talking about the numbers you bumped up?
Yeah, when everybody
like 57 points per game. I was like, what the fuck?
See, I didn't think that you could do that either because you're basically bumping up everyone's number. Okay. But they played in a different time period though. So
yeah.
So I know. I mean, it was all off of like if people had that many possessions, that's what they would do. That's all it was. And I mean, I don't know. People have their disagreements and their agreements. I know there's people. Somebody said in my comment section that Reggie Miller is still top 20 all time, and I was like, oh my god, what are you saying right now?
He means shooting, right? He probably means shooting.
I asked him. I was like, do you mean top 20 shooting guard or top 20 shooter or top 20 player that played for the Pacers? Like, what are you saying? Because I know you're not saying top 20 player of all time. But people were like. I don't know. People just didn't listen to the whole entire thing, and they came to conclusions fairly easy, though.
All right. How about we do this? We did this a couple weeks back. It's called the Versus segment. This is the Versus segment of the podcast.
He got a question, yo.
No. I was just wondering, because there's another thing you said about Reggie Miller. You said that the amount of threes. What the fuck did you say? Like the threes he took, like the amount of threes he took.
Yeah.
Like we're going to be broken by multiple NBA players, but at that time. Like people are saying that they didn't really take that many threes anyway.
Back then, when I said that players today make more threes or take more threes, I was more so talking about the fact that more positions take more threes. So you have power forwards and centers that attempt more threes. But back then, in today's NBA last year, James Harden attempted 8 3-pointers a game. In the 95-96 season, Dennis Scott, the bald head dude that's on TNT every now and then with the thick eyebrows that played with Shaquille O'Neal, he took. In 95-96 season, he attempted 7.7 3-pointers a game. Reggie Miller only led the NBA in 2 seasons in 3-pointers made, and he only cracked over 200 3-pointers made in a season one time. Dennis Scott did that twice. Multiple players are attempting multiple threes. It's obvious that more players are attempting more threes now, but people were claiming that if he had played in today's NBA, he would attempt more threes. It's not completely true because a lot of his shots were taken around mid-range. Even if you put him in today's NBA, he might attempt, I mean, he would attempt 1 or 2. Yeah, he would attempt more threes, but it wouldn't be to the high volume of a Stephen Curry or Damian Lillard. Like it wouldn't be to that extent. And again, like I said before, a player like J.R. Smith, which again people just completely forgot about this. J.R. Smith doesn't attempt that many threes. And J.R. Smith. he doesn't. Like I said before, you go back and you look at them. There are multiple players who are attempting 5 to 6, 7 3-pointers a game. Like Mitch Richmond was doing it. Mullum was doing it. Like I said, Dennis Scott was doing it. There was other players that were attempting 5, 6, 7 3-pointers a game. J.R. Smith, I think, attempts like 5 to 6 3-pointers a game right now. And I might be embellishing on his numbers. Even a player like him, though, because throughout his career, he wasn't attempting that many threes. Even a player like him, if he just makes 200 threes for the next 4 to 5 more years, he will beat Reggie Miller. He'll pass Reggie Miller in the three-point most made list, and he'll do it at the age of 35. It took Reggie Miller 19 seasons to get to that point. 19 seasons.
But I think there's a big difference between the early 90s and the late 90s. But even with that, if that's the argument people are making, then we should be looking at percentage.
I'm sorry to cut you off too as well, but Reggie Miller came in at 80, I think it was 88 or 89, something. He came in basically in the early 90s. Majority of his career was mid 90s, late 90s, and by the mid to late 90s, people were attempting a lot more shots. It was multiple people that were making 100 to 150, 200 3-pointers a season. It's different, but the gap between where we're at right now to where they were just like 20 years ago, it's not that big of a difference. There's just anomalies now. They're like Stephen Curry, who's fucking making 400 threes. That man's ridiculous. But outside of that, like it's not that many. It's just anomalies that alter where we at right now. But it's not that big of a difference.
I'm glad you could bring some of your statistician expertise into the conversation.
I had that in the video, but I can't. The fucking video can't be 30 minutes long.
Yeah. Well.
I mean, I guess No, I'm just saying you average only 4.7 threes over attempted a game over the course of his career.
And I think if you had it's more open now. People have teams literally dedicated to
I mean
open 3-pointers.
Yeah, the defense. I mean, you can't even touch Steph Curry now. So,
and you might be able to make an argument. Sorry, that there was better defenders back then, or at least it was more physical. At least throughout his career compared to now, where if you jump on a guy's back, flagrant foul.
But then you can also make the argument that Reggie Miller got away with a lot of things because he was kicking his leg out. He used to stand in the lane for way longer than he was supposed to, and then they would just run offense and run floppies and let people stand in the lane and catch picks. You can't do that anymore. You can make an argument that there's zone defense now, and you can't do that anymore. You can make an argument that there's no such thing as illegal defense. So back in the day, when somebody used to call an ISO, you couldn't really leave the player you were guarding to help, or somebody was coming off a screen, you couldn't leave the player to help because you can't double nobody and leave your player wide open because that's an illegal defense. You can do that now. So there's different aspects. I understand there's different aspects. Please don't get me wrong, but people act as if like Reggie Miller was just bombing from 3 every single game. He never really bombed from 3. He never really led the league in 3-pointers attempt, even in his own time period, let alone where we're at today. And he only led the NBA in 3-pointers made twice in his whole entire career. Sometimes he wasn't even in the top 5. Sometimes he wasn't even in the top 10 in certain seasons. So again, even in his own time period, he really wasn't bombing threes like that. He just did it for 19 years, which is why he's at the point where he's at right now.
All right. I was looking through the chat. I'll switch it up a little bit. Somebody mentioned a neat little verses. He said John Wall versus Damian Lillard. So both players offer something a little bit different. John Wall a little bit more athletic, got some explosion in his jump. But Dame, 3-point shooter, but he can also finesse, hit the basket a little bit. Who would you take if someone's like, you need to build your team right now? Are you doing it around Dame or are you doing it around John Wall?
Oh, this is a tough one.
No, it's not tough for me. I'll go ahead then if it's tough for you. I already know I'm picking Dame.
Go ahead.
Because Dame will easily stretch the forward. That guy is a fucking phenomenal 3-point shooter. On top of that, have y'all seen him attack the hoop? He can do that too. So, I mean, that on top of the fact that I don't know how the fuck he led that bum Portland Trailblazer team. Keep in mind, it doesn't have a lot of talent on that roster.
People keep forgetting about CJ McCollum. Oh no,
yeah, CJ McCollum,
but
he's underrated now.
I think we all, a huge majority of people underestimated what he was capable of.
Right. Yeah.
So, I would roll with Lillard. What do you guys think?
Yeah, you're right. He underrated. I don't know. I just feel like if Beal was healthy the whole entire season, I think it would have been a complete different situation. Because in Washington, they have a player that puts up 20 points right next to. He puts up 20 points next to what's my man named John Wall, but he wasn't playing the entire season. But I don't know. I don't think it's as easy as what you're saying. I mean, last year John Wall had a pretty solid season. He turned the ball over a lot, but so does Damian Lillard. Damian Lillard isn't that good of a defender. He just isn't that good of a defender at all.
What? I'm gonna have to pull up the advanced stats right now. Hold on.
Damian Lillard is not a good defender, yo. Damian is not a good defender.
What advanced stats are you looking at?
I'm about to pull it. Did you say
Who,
what?
me? Who, me or Waffle? I mean, agent.
Whoever's looking up advanced stats.
I'm looking up advanced stats right now as we speak.
Are you making an argument that he's good? I'm about to say, that's what I'm saying. You think he's a good defender?
I'm about to find out through these advanced stats.
Did you not see them?
That's what I'm saying.
Come on, man. The eye test, bro.
That means not a
Did
good
you say the
defender.
eye test? You think
he's-
stats?
But he's not a good defender, though. He's not a good defender, though.
Did you see the games, man? Did you see him in the playoffs?
Yeah, he was looking crazy in the playoffs.
That nigga Chris Paul was killing that man until he got injured.
That man was like going. That man. I don't know about Dame. Like Dame be going under screens from time to time. He be going under screens when Stephen Curry's getting set for screens, and it's like, yo, he's Steph. You got to fight over the screen or switch. Like do something.
All right.
Oh,
Damian Lillard has a defensive rating of 107.3.
That's not good.
Yeah, that's not actually that good. That's
I was about to say that's not good.
That's pretty bad.
I mean, I give Damian Lillard. He's healthy a lot of the times. He's played a lot of NBA games. Matter of fact, he's played almost every NBA game. He said you don't even stick what.
But keep in mind, it was a pretty bad defensive team in general, especially that lineup with CJ McCollum on it. Like it was, they had defensive problems all season long. That team.
That backcourt's one of the worst backcourts in the league at defense.
Yeah.
Is it though?
It is. CJ McCollum doesn't play any defense
I
either.
was about to say neither CJ or Dame played.
That's why when they signed him, I was like, I mean, okay, because they both they both are shooters, but I mean,
I ain't gonna lie. They might have to come to the conclusion that CJ might have to come off the bench at some point. But I don't know. I just going back to the initial question. I don't know, but go back to the initial question that we had about who's better between. I'm gonna have to go with John Wall.
For real?
John Wall is a better facilitator. He looks for the pass more. He's becoming a better shooter. He's not as great as a shooter as Damian Lillard, obviously. And also, I think also on the defensive end, Wall is better. Both of them finish really good around the rim, but I just feel like the whole package that I want from my point guard, John Wall.
So you just love point guards who turn it over, then, right?
I mean,
Damian Lillard turns the ball over. I'm about to say, what are you saying?
But John Wall next to Kobe and Russell Westbrook, they're like the king.
And James Harden. And
of course, James Harden. Yep, you can't forget the record holder.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they people can be like, come on, man, give him a break, man. I know he set the record for the most turnovers, but give him a break. I'll be like, Jesus Christ, like, yo, what do y'all want?
Yeah. I think either way you go, you'll have pros, but I think today's NBA, if you're not able to stretch the floor, then there's going to be some things that you're just not able to do. And you don't leave Dame open no matter what. And now open up opportunities for players like CJ McCollum. So a great shooter like Bradley Beal, I'm going to leak off of John Wall a little bit if I'm an NBA player, knowing that he has like a 74 standing three. But that boy Bradley Beal has like an 88. You don't leave him open.
I mean, I think his jump shot's gonna improve in this season a little bit.
Hopefully,
and then,
everybody says they're working on it. But
and then adding Beal back to the lineup, but Beal can finally stay healthy. Then he has another option he can go to. He doesn't have to hold the ball too much. Turn it over because I think sometimes when he's playing on that team, he tries to do a little bit too much, and it's like it's just too chaotic.
All right. I'm trying to think of a new one. By the way, on a side note, did y'all hear that Drew Holiday is not going to be playing like the first little bit of the season?
Yeah,
because was it a family member or his wife had some? Yeah, his wife
having surgery. Yeah.
So I mean, shout out to Drew. We were just talking about him on the other pod about how his numbers are actually incredibly impressive. I was looking forward to seeing him play this season, but hopefully everything works out great and everyone comes out healthy.
Is Drew Holiday a role player?
Oh, absolutely not. What do you mean?
Okay.
Yeah, I guess.
I should have asked that question before you saw his numbers. Because if you would have saw his numbers, you'd be like, oh no, that ain't a role player.
No, he was still. As long as you're starting, I don't think he'd be a role player. I mean,
He
you might
wasn't
be a role
starting.
player.
I don't think he was starting last year.
I mean, they benched him a little bit, but he was.
He had limited limits, so he had to come off the bench.
That's what I'm saying. He had limited minutes. I don't think he wasn't starting.
I mean, he'd be a starter if he was healthy, but since he's never
Yo,
gonna be
Okay,
This
pause.
is the inconsistency, yo. That's crazy. All right, you got it.
All right.
I mean, he's not healthy. If he's
Y'all
gonna
got
play,
it. You got it.
Still Drew.
same thing like Amari Stoudemire back in the day. Same thing like Zach Randolph when he got injured.
You got it. Y'all got it.
Slow your roll.
Drew Holiday versus.
Don't tell me you're gonna say D Rose.
He about to say D Rose.
No. Mike Conley.
Oh no, I'll take Mike Conley. But
I'll say Mike Conley too.
Say D Rose though. Say D Rose though.
I say D Rose. How about Drew Holiday versus D Rose?
I'll take D Rose right now. I mean, we already know he's injured.
That's actually an interesting one.
I take Drew Holiday. I take Drew Holiday all day of the week.
They're both injury prone. Let's be clear about that.
I see D Rose. And I'm like, maybe he could come back into a little bit of a form. You know what I'm saying?
I trust Drew Holiday to come back into a little bit of a form, as you said.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do. What?
Drew Holiday is more of like a assist type point guard. Like you can expect max 6 assists from Derrick Rose.
Exactly, max.
And that's being generous.
This man Drew Holiday had 6 assists last season. What you
I know, but I'm saying the max for Drew is a little bit higher, and I think that's the type of point guard I prefer. And he'll still score for you a little bit. Like I just think he's capable of more at the points in their careers. Is that disrespectful? It might be, but I mean, Rose gonna have to.
What's disrespectful about it? These millionaires.
Wait, what did he say?
He said, "How's it disrespectful? These people millionaires, yo."
No, because he used to be an MVP.
Killing me.
MVP for one season. I don't even think he deserved that MVP, but that's my opinion.
I still think Kobe should have got like all the MVPs in that decade.
Oh man, what's next on for people to come after me?
Bryson Tiller or Tory? I'm playing. No.
Bryson Tiller.
Someone said Bryson Tiller or Tory Lanez in the chat. This shit was accurate.
Oh, shit.
Nicholas Batum versus Gordon Hayward. That was Justin in the chat who said that one.
I'll take Gordon Hayward.
We still doing this though? Damn.
Yeah, this last one. Nicholas Batum versus Gordon Hayward.
I'll take. Is Nicholas Batum? He a role player?
Depends what team he's on, yeah.
He's borderline.
Y'all killing me.
He's borderline.
He borderline a role player, right?
He is kind of.
No, don't look up his numbers. Don't just tell me what he is. Don't
You
look
were
up his
typing.
numbers.
You remember what I said in the chat during the fucking Oh, what? Hold up. In the fucking summer, I said he was ass in the summer. I already said I took Gordon Hayward.
I'm gonna go with I'm probably gonna go with Gordon Hayward too.
You better take Gordon Hayward before I flame your ass.
I'm going Nicholas Batum because.
Oh no!
Yeah, he took a role. He took a role player, right?
Choose Nicholas Batum, nigga. I don't want to hear that Nicholas Batum.
Well, wait, hold up, pause. Keep in mind that Nicholas Batum's a much fucking better defender. So you're not just getting.
But then you're already going with defense.
Yeah, that's something you made it seem like it was a huge gap or something like that. It's not that much.
It is a huge gap.
No, it's not.
Whoa.
Nicholas Batum is a really good defender.
He is. He's a really good defender, but that doesn't mean you're making it seem like Gordon Hayward isn't at least a good defender.
Come on, man. Don't pick him because he's not black. God.
What? No, I just see what he's literally just a scorer. I think if you're gonna compare him to a player in history.
Yo, you're crazy. Well,
it's just I don't like. I mean, I feel like that guy should have been off of Utah. He's a cancer. Well, I'm chill.
What?
Utah fans might get.
Oh my, you're killing me right now.
He's a cancer to Utah?
I think so, yo.
You're
Whoa.
Well, keep in mind, Gordon Hayward's on the trade block right now. They're trying to look for ways to move him.
How was he?
At least right now.
Wait. Can we keep in mind that at the end of the AyoPodcast, end of the freaking season, it was this nigga's agent said that Gordon Hayward was the top 5 small forward? And then I just think you're backtracking. Now you're backtracking, nigga. I got you, nigga. You thought I forget this shit, nigga?
Yo, who was it? Gobert got injured. I think Derek Favors also had an injury late in the season. Correct me if I'm wrong about Derek Favors. Pause. That
team was consistently putting up the same numbers.
The team was leading Houston. They were in position to bring themselves into the playoffs, and then the big men get injured, and the guys, the rest of the team couldn't even fucking carry. That team fell. Oh, they lost every fucking important game at the end of the season.
So Nicholas Batum could win every important game at the end of the season?
Did y'all see Nicholas Batum in the fucking playoffs? Yo, he stepped up.
So is Nicholas Batum a role player? Yes or no?
No, absolutely not. That dude was a starter.
So I guess Gordon Hayward's a star.
Yo, I mean,
Yeah, right. Good as a starter.
I mean, he is though. Starters right under All Star.
What the hell? So why are you taking a starter instead of a star?
Because I like what Nicholas Batum has to offer a team
Oh,
more
you're
than
bugging.
just.
Yeah, you're what?
Say if you get a player like Nicholas Batum, at least you get better defense. You can find scorers outside of that. It's not like Nicholas Batum.
Can you find scores?
These niggas said they said just like niggas is a lot of niggas just putting up 20 points. He said it.
I don't know, man. You know when you just get a little, you don't have a good feeling about a player. I don't have a good feeling about Gordon Hayward.
I like Nicholas Batum too, but I'm taking Gordon
Nicholas
Hayward.
Batum's one of those players I feel like even like late in his career when he's 36, he can still be real productive. You know, so he's a player you can sign for.
You won.
I think he might be getting overpaid. He's getting a lot of money now, but you know. Anyway, we'll move on. At least we had a controversial versus. So that was
Ain't
nice.
no controversial, nigga. You said Gordon Hayward was a top 5 point guard. I mean, small forward.
Small forward.
So Ty Lawson signed with the Kings. Wait, hold on. Give me a second. You guys just discuss the Ty Lawson Kings. We've got to do something real quick.
Actually, I think Ty Lawson with the Kings is a pretty solid piece because they need a backup point guard, and I think Ty Lawson he needs to reevaluate his career, revamp his career in a new situation. Unfortunately, George Karl isn't coaching that team anymore. I thought, of course, the George Karl, Ty Lawson, maturation with one another in Denver. I think that really worked out, and I hoped it would have worked out in the situation where he's at right now. But who knows? I don't know. I don't know about what he's going to be able to bring to that team, but I feel like it's going to be good. I feel like that team needs a point guard that's going to push the pace, facilitate, and do what he needs to do.
By the way, I was watching a little thing. I think it was Bleacher Report's Slime Team. Somebody uploaded this little bio on Ty Lawson's career. I feel so bad for the guy. He was killing it down in Denver. That team surprised everybody. What they have like a 57
no.
Wait, let me talk.
I can't feel sorry for nobody.
He gets a DUI. He leaves that team, and then he goes to what was it? He left that team, went to Indiana. He went to Houston for a little bit. I just feel like he fucked up a lot, but that's the player that was dominating the top 10 crossovers list. So with the same, I mean, his explosiveness maybe isn't the same it was in Denver. His handles might not be the same it was, but he can do better than like 4 points per game. And I feel bad that it was the Kings of all teams, that disaster of an organization, but I'm glad there's teams giving the guy a chance. I feel bad for Ty Lawson. I think give him a 5th and 6th chance. He gets one more damn DUI. He just needs to leave the NBA, though.
No, he needs to get kicked out and banned forever.
Oh, wow.
For what?
For what? For not following the rules, nigga.
Man, there's a lot of players who don't follow the rules.
And they get freaking suspended and banned, nigga.
Who gets banned from the NBA? Which player?
Really, OJ Mayo?
OJ Mayo just got banned, yeah.
I mean, you gotta be OJ stupid to get that kind of... Oh, you see what
he about to be OJ stupid and OJ soon?
I'm about to say, I don't know. He might be OJ stupid.
Well, yeah, at this point in his career, he might be. But then again...
Real quick.
Yeah.
When J.R. Smith won the not rookie of the 6th man of the year, was he a role player?
You're a 6th man.
These are regular questions. Was he a 6th man or was he not a 6th? I mean, was he a role player or was he not a role player?
He was a role player. He was a role player.
A role player is underneath 6th man.
A role player is even so you're saying role player just can't even start?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking. Well, there's role. If you're, for example, let's say you're Ryan Anderson. Let's say Ryan Anderson, you're behind Anthony Davis. You're a role player for that team. But let's say now you go to Houston. You're a starter. You literally can't hold.
Is JJ Redick a role player even when he's starting?
Well, can you even use J.R. Smith's 6th man as an example? Because J.R. Smith never started the game during that Knicks season.
Yeah, he never started the game. Yeah.
Then he's a 6th man. I'm going by 2K. I play a lot of my GM, my league. It goes like this.
Hey, man, I low-key that J.R. Smith was lit, though. That was the best J.R. Smith.
I'm about to say, because that man was putting 18 points, 5 rebounds.
Right.
That nigga was carrying the team when Mel was gone.
Past starter. There's 6th man. Then the 7th, 8th, and maybe you're pushing it 9th are usually role players on the team. And then there's the bench players.
Those are just bench players.
No. Bench players comes underneath the role players. So on the Raptors, Patrick Patterson.
Yeah, I'm about to say nah. That's crazy.
That's how 2K does it. I'm going by 2K standards right here.
Because Even I'm telling you, look up role player right now on any site, or if you just like know, just comment basketball. A role player has an identity and a role on a team, and isn't left with the responsibility to decide who wins or lose games. I don't think in J.R. Smith he had that. He had a little bit of that responsibility, like Waffle said when Melo left. I don't think nobody was looking at J.R. Smith like, yo, we need you to win or lose the game, nigga.
But we looked at him sometimes like that.
But when Melo was gone, though, that's what I'm saying. But at the end of it,
he became the top player on the team.
That says so much about their fucking next team. But
that's what I'm saying.
what I'm just saying,
you got to be in control of the game to not be a role player. Is that what you're telling me?
Because it's like a factor.
I mean, there's a lot. John Wall wasn't in control of the games. He was losing a whole fuck ton of games. Is he a role player?
Stop, but they still left the responsibility of winning or losing games up to him.
It's up to everybody. Then what's an X factor? For example, listen, the whole Raptor team can play good, but if Patterson and Louis Scola are out there shooting bricks last year, the team's not gonna win the game.
T. Ross? Is he a role player?
Of course, when he's on the bench.
Okay, but he's a role player, right?
It depends on the lineup. The lineup moves a lot in Toronto, but most of the season he's a role player.
He's a bit. All right, I better not go to
when DeMarre Carroll's healthy, he's a role player.
I better not go to Terrence Ross.
Well, at least that's the way that I see it. Well, I don't know. I can't speak for all Raptor fans, but Terrence Ross needs to get the fuck up off Toronto. That guy is, I don't know, man. He's, I'm gonna leave it at that. That guy should not still be on the team. Anyway, I don't know. We're still having this role player debate. This is going on. This is the all podcast debate. But we're talking about Ty Lawson, good or bad? Just how about we go with that?
Like what? What does that mean?
He's on with the Kings. I already said it's. I think it's a good pick. Go for the Kings.
It's a non-guaranteed contract, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it's only 1 year. It's not like it's a long contract.
I think it's a bad pick. I mean, I don't think he has any business being with the Kings. I mean, of all organizations, the organization that just drafted like 5 big men in the draft I don't know why they did that. Then they still got DeMarcus Cousins. Then they don't even know what they're gonna do with the organization. They got Derek Carlson there. I mean, I don't know what's going on with this team. I mean, Derek Carlson's just a borderline role player, bro.
All right. How about for this next part, Waffle, since I feel like you know a little bit more about this than me, why don't you take over the NBA rookie survey? I think this was a couple weeks back this happened, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, yeah. So, basically, if you type in NBA survey on Google, go to the link. Where's the link at? Let me get this link in the chat real quick. And they basically do this survey every year. They ask the rookies, a bunch of questions. Let me see. The first question they asked was like, who will be the 2016-17 Rookie of the Year? 29% of the rookies said Chris Dunn. 25.8% said Brandon Ingram, and then 19% said Ben Simmons. So those are the top 3 guys. So I mean, Chris Dunn. I don't know. Maybe they know something about Chris Dunn. I don't. But then again, I didn't watch any college games, of course. But Chris Dunn, man, that might be a sneaky good pickup for the Timberwolves.
But then again, I don't know if they know all what they're talking about, obviously, because 41.9% voted for Julie Loco for last year.
I mean, but
that wasn't that far off, though.
I mean, he put up 18 points per game. He missed some games last season.
Then there's even more questions because Pascal Siakam, the guy that Toronto drafted, got a vote. I don't know who voted that guy. They should probably not be allowed to vote. I know, but like, who? If they asked you, if you're a rookie in the NBA, say you're a rookie in the NBA, and they're like, hey man, who do you think is gonna be Rookie of the Year? Like, how do you turn around and be like, that one guy? You know that guy from Toronto? Yup. You're like, come on, that guy's not gonna get much minutes anyway. But anyway, keep going. What's the next one?
Which rookie will have the best career? 26.7% said Brandon Ingram, 16.7% said Chris Dunn, and then 13.3% said Buddy Hield from New Orleans.
So that's interesting.
Yeah, what was it? What was it again?
Who'll have the best career?
Best career. Okay.
Okay. Chris Dunn got most Rookie of the Year votes, but Ingram got a lot more best career votes.
I actually agree. I agree with that actually, because again, like I think I think a lot of people I think a lot of people pushing the whole Ben Simmons thing. I think Ben Simmons still might have a good chance of winning Rookie of the Year, but I think the way that the Lakers are building up and what they're doing with Brandon Ingram, I think he's put in a situation that even though he might not succeed this year, but heading down the line throughout his career, the way that team is built, he should be able to succeed later on down the road.
Ben Simmons is not even top 3 though. He's not top 3.
Yeah, that's crazy. So I mean, first it was Ingram, Dunn, 3 Buddy Hield, who had an abysmal summer league. Hopefully that turns around.
He had a really bad summer league.
But tied for 4th is 4 players, which is Simmons, Jamal Murray, shout out to the Canadian, Jaylen Brown, and Dragonbender.
Fuck Dragonbender.
Wow. So I mean, it's weird to see Ben Simmons that low on the list. Maybe the rookies are just hating like, fuck that guy. I mean, he got 1st overall. He gets all the money. But I mean, I guess we'll move on.
Which rookie was the biggest steal? That way was selected in the draft. Deontay Murray, San Antonio, 16.1%. Tyler Ulis, 12.9%. And then Malcolm Brogdon, 6.5%. Very players you might not know. But then Jaylen Brown's at the next spot, 6.5%. And Thon Maker at 6.5% as well. Which I don't think that's a steal. I mean, I don't know. I think Jaylen Brown, but you can't really be a steal at number 3 if you went number 3 though. So,
maybe more so sleeper because I think a lot of people were like over exaggerating how bad the Celtics did with their pick, but I think they actually did a couple of good things. But I think Murray though, I think Murray for sure is the biggest steal because they got him 29th. I think he can still bring something to the team or San Antonio.
Better watch out for San Antonio then. And rich rookie is the most athletic. Jaylen Brown got about 40%. Then Bryce Johnson, 16.1%. Marquise Chris with 9.7%. And Gary Payton's the second got 6.5% as well. But I mean, you can just search up the highlights of Jaylen Brown. He's definitely the most athletic. And I think coming off the bench is going to be a good role for him in Boston. I mean, that's going to be a solid team, to be honest. And then we got Rich Rookie. He's the best shooter, even though he didn't really shoot that good in the summer league. 65% said Buddy Hield. So that's overwhelmingly. Then it's Jamal Murray at 20%.
That's crazy because Jamal Murray is the one coming out of college. Everyone was like, that guy's a lights out shooter. So the one guy who did really bad in summer leagues, the guy they're like, yep, that dude right there.
I hope people aren't getting caught up in the hype with the what is it called with the bracket? What is a bracket? March Madness. Yeah, I hope people aren't getting caught up with March Madness hype when it comes to Buddy Hield because he had a really good March Madness, and I hope that carries over. But like agents keep saying, and like I'll keep saying, I didn't see much out of that in the summer league game. I know it's just summer league, but I thought I would have seen like a little bit of it. I didn't really see too much of it at all.
Yeah, I don't think too much people take it out of context though. Wasn't Norris Cole, if I'm not mistaken, or I mean, there's players that came out of college, won the shit, and then they still didn't get no love till like sometimes second round, late first round. Maybe it might just be the rookies who really value it more than maybe general managers or other players in the NBA. All right, but we'll switch it up. Unless Waffle, you wanted any other highlights from that list you wanted to bring up.
Well, basically, Chris Dunn won also best rookie playmaker, best defender, the funniest rookie, and the biggest adjustment that was most voted was speed or pace. Also, the favorite player in the league is overwhelmingly, well, not overwhelmingly, but Kevin Durant's the favorite player out of all these rookies for some reason. And Steph Curry didn't even make the top list for the rookies.
Man, so I guess they're not huge Steph Curry fans.
I mean, Kevin Durant fans.
Yep, so I guess they'll learn to love.
Man said other people said Vince Carter. Vince Carter's so overrated. It's crazy.
Who said Vince Carter?
You can see scroll down. They said other received votes. Put Vince Carter, then Steph Curry, then Marcus. Oh, Jesus Christ! And then Kyrie Irving. It's been Kevin Durant for 2 years in a row. Yeah, I saw that.
Wow, what's up with that?
I don't know.
I don't like Kevin
Durant. Was this after the Kevin Durant move? Yeah, right.
I mean, no. I mean, of course, but last year it was Kevin Durant anyways.
Yeah, last year,
yeah. So I guess it didn't matter to them.
Damn, when people see Kevin Durant like that, I guess he could. Fuck
this guy just gave up on life.
I'm about to say, I don't know what's going on right now.
Oh, all right. So we'll do we had a little versus segment, so we'll save this next little part for another week. But Fantasy basketball, by the way, we should, if we're doing a league for NFL, probably start it like immediately. But at least for NBA, I mean, we'll have to have a little segment on here when the season starts up for like highlights of the week for fantasy, because there's gonna be a lot of come up players in this league now, and since all the good players are on one team now, there's gonna be a lot of other players starting to shine. There's gonna be a lot of sleepers, and I'm excited to dig out and find out who those sleepers are gonna be.
Yeah, either get Russell Westbrook or James Harden for your first picks.
Now you don't want James Harden though, because he'll fuck you in field goal percentage and in turnovers.
Yeah, but he'll get the rebounds and the assists and points.
The turnovers. You just lose turnovers every week if you have to.
That's what I'm saying. Just lose turnovers every week. What? I found out how to play fantasy halfway through the season last year, so I'm gonna just lose turnovers every week.
I don't know about that. I'm pretty legendary when it comes to turnovers because I always get the Kobe's and the Westbrooks who shoot a lot. The volume players that like to turn it over a lot. But let's say there's a top three. Who's your top three draft order if you were to draft today for the NBA draft? I mean, fantasy draft, that is.
First I choose Westbrook.
All right, Westbrook first.
Then second I choose Harden. And then third, fuck, that's a good question. Who the fuck would be? Honestly,
I would go with either LeBron James or Paul George.
I'll go with LeBron James.
Yeah. Nah, see, I don't think you only hear this from the vet.
Because
you said LeBron James. People notoriously know LeBron doesn't try enough for him to be your first round pick.
He's still going to get 25, 9, and 6.
He's consistent, but he won't blow up for you. See, this is I'm gonna give it to y'all like facts right here. So Stephen Curry is, if you don't choose Stephen Curry number one, the only possible explanation would be you think he's gonna get another ankle injury. That's the only one, because
he's on the team with Kevin Durant. What are you saying?
I understand that, but you will win 3-pointers every week. You will have a huge boost in field goal percentage. I'm telling you this because I underestimated him last year, and the guy that got him just blew everything.
Are we still sure? Are we still sure about the field? Because I don't know if he's going to attempt that many shots anymore.
It's not like, because there's a lot of players that will contribute to a stat category. Stephen Curry is one of the players that can win an entire category by himself, and that's incredibly helpful.
Why not just pick Andre Drummond in?
Because Drummond will lose you free throw percentage.
Were you talking about picking?
Curry might lose you turnovers.
And again, see, I don't think you want to see. You hear it from the vet, Lo. As a fantasy vet, I've had Drummond last year in one of my fantasy leagues.
And he was good though, right? He was good.
He was good.
Like he wasn't.
He will get you like the total rebounds he'll get you in a week is only a boost to what your other team can provide. If you don't have any other good rebounders, you will lose to a team of average rebounders. But Curry will literally win you an entire category on his own, which is why for me he's number one.
I'm sorry to cut you off, but are we sure that he's going to? Because last year he had a historical year where he's made 400 threes. Yeah. I don't know if he's going to. I highly doubt he's going to do that again.
He doesn't have to. Just get 300 or 250, and I'll still be winning those categories. I'm good.
250. Wait. 250. Last year, J.R. Smith made 200 and 202 threes.
Yup. Those are the other players. Those are the role players you can pick up late in the draft.
But what I'm saying, so J.R. Smith is not a role player now.
Well. If Curry's not going, I don't want to go through all that role player stuff again. But if Curry's not being picked 1 or 2 in your league, you should immediately be gunning for him. The second player is, of course, going to be Westbrook. The one reason I didn't put him first is because he'll kill you on the turnovers and field goal percentage. He's inconsistent when it comes to field goal percentage. He'll have bad days, but the points, the assists, the rebounds are the big categories. And he does a lot of all of those, so that's real helpful, especially if you have Andre Drummond and then you got Westbrook, a point guard, putting work on the boards. Yeah. And then I don't know why you have KD on this list. He shouldn't even be near the top here.
No, I wouldn't put KD on that list.
Yeah. But I mean, I think the other one really depends on who you're trying to build on. Cat definitely shouldn't be here either.
Is it not James Harden though?
I don't think so. Yo.
Yeah, you're crazy, man.
Did you see last year to start the year, James Harden went so fucking bad that
in the beginning of the season, yeah, but throughout the whole entire season, especially this year. I think that man gonna put up like 35 points. I ain't gonna lie to you.
No. I don't even think he's capable of that.
What? I don't know.
And then the last player,
I think he's gonna put up 30. I think James Harden will put up 35 points and with like 6 or 7 assists.
Nah, I think you're just boosting. And then I guess I'm gonna make my third like an alternate. Just a reliable pick is the LeBron. If you're like, I don't know who to pick, LeBron is always 100% a safe pick because he finds a way to stay healthy each year, and he always is performing steadily. 25 points per game, eight or 9 rebounds, whatever. Like he'll
9 rebounds.
More like 6 or 7, but
I was about to say 8 or 9 rebounds.
You'll be surprised how fucking consistent that guy is. He's Mr. Reliable in fantasy. But that's not fun. You don't want a reliable fantasy player, right? You want somebody who's gonna go crazy and get 20 rebounds or 50 points. Those are the kind of players I like picking up. Anyway, Lo, what's your list, yo? Because you had a lot to say about my list.
The thing about Curry is that I'm not 100% sure if he's gonna have the same year like he did last year. And if he's making like I don't like 253, there's gonna be multiple players in the NBA that's gonna be making 253.
He'll make more than that, but anyway.
I don't know, but all right. But I think I don't know about Curry. I think for sure Russell Westbrook and James Harden. In my opinion, I think they are. And like you said, the last one is up in the air depending on where you're at in the fantasy draft and what type of pick you have, and depending who's still up there. But like you said, you really can't go wrong with LeBron, and then just kind of build off of what you got off LeBron. So if you got LeBron, so you're gonna have scoring and rebounding. And if the next round DeAndre Jordan is up, then just get DJ and then just build off of me. Can I finish? Can I finish what I'm saying?
All right, but I'm
then just keep building off of points, rebounds, and blocks and stuff like that. Just build off like 3 steady categories.
I think Waffle's gonna say
and field goal percentage too. And field goal percentage.
Waffle, go ahead. You're
gonna win. You're gonna win with field goal percentage in that too.
I was going to say, I learned, because I had 2 years in a row I made the mistake of trying to do everything. You just need to do 5 or 6 categories really fucking good. There's some categories that I didn't give a I couldn't care less about. I knew I was going to go into the week and lose those categories, but as long as I dominated the ones that I dominated, then I would win the week anyway. It depends what kind of a league you're playing. We're talking like a category win-loss league here, so like out of 7 it should be. But anyway, that's anyway. DeAndre's a weird.
But if you have that's what I'm saying. If you have like LeBron and then you pick DeAndre, you're gonna be good in field goal percentage. You're gonna be good in points. You're gonna be good in rebounds.
Then you lose free throw percentage.
And you're gonna be good in you'll be good in field goal percentage because DeAndre's gonna shoot high from the field, and so is LeBron. So those are 4. That's 4 right there. That's 4 you straight in.
But you would also be tossing out points because DeAndre doesn't get a lot of points.
But you can just get somebody in the third round who can put up 20 points.
All you need to do is get players that can do a little bit of everything. Get someone that can average 20 points.
Nah, I did that shit last year. I did that shit last year and I lost. I did that shit last year. I'm not even. We're gonna be in the second round. I'm just gonna be like fuck turnovers and just keep getting like everybody who gets like mad assists. That's exactly what I'm gonna do, yo. I'm gonna be like fuck.
Get the John Walls and the James Hardens of the league because once you commit to losing free throw percentage, it's a wrap. Just get Drummond and DeAndre. Get them all at that point. Don't even hesitate. Don't try and do that. Because when you go up against like a great scoring team, like average isn't gonna cut it. You're gonna lose the category. Unless you're playing in a point league. A point league, Waffle said might make sense, but point leagues are trash.
But I was good because I ain't gonna lie, because Waffle, I think we all got lucky when that nigga Blake Griffin went down. Because I kept thinking, I was like, this nigga Waffle got Blake Griffin, Gordon Hayward. You had like 4 players that's gonna like put up 20+ points. I was like, I ain't never gonna lose.
I had Gordon Hayward. Fuck.
I know you have Gordon Hayward and Blake Griffin, but I kept thinking to myself like, yo, I'm like that nigga's never gonna lose in scoring, and then Blake Griffin got hurt. But I was like, man, that's crazy.
On a side note,
I think you had KD too. You had like somebody who was like really crazy in scoring. And I was like, man, that nigga Waffle.
When we start when we start our NBA fantasy league, we're probably gonna be inviting some of y'all to join. First of all, you gotta be a real serious fantasy player. Right?
I stopped playing that shit too though.
But if you know you're gonna stop playing, don't even bother. And you have to be good at fantasy on top of that. Because if I see you drop a good player in the middle of the season, like as a commissioner, I'll just be like, do I just
like the commissioner? Who said you the commissioner?
I'm the commissioner. I need my commissioner powers. I need to be able to just take people from teams if I want to. That is because they don't have that in NFL fantasy. That's my one flaw. Because remember Waffle, we were in that one fantasy league for NFL, and there was this one guy dropping all these good players that were on the don't drop list. I was like, fuck you, why are you screwing up the league? So if somebody does that in the NBA, especially when you run it through Yahoo, I can literally take the player out of the free agency and put it back on his team. So anyway, I'm excited for fantasy. Are we doing NFL fantasy today or tomorrow?
Oh, we can still do that.
You want to do? I'll do a mock draft tonight. You want to do the draft like afternoon tomorrow before the game?
Well, I'm not here Thursday tonight. I mean, I could do it tonight.
Well, even if the Thursday game goes on, it's not like we're going to be like, oh, we're going to base our whole team on that one game. So
yeah, that's true.
It's not like it's going to be the end of the world.
I think I had Carmelo going into Haywood, Blake Griffin, Chris Paul.
Yeah, I had Chris Paul. I know I had Chris Paul.
Oh, yeah, Chris Paul. Yeah. I had a killer point guard. I think I had either Damian Lillard or John Wall. One of them.
You had somebody else like this nigga got like 4 fucking 20-point scorers on his team. That shit don't make no sense. And shout out to I kept thinking, I was like, this nigga gonna win scoring every week. He gonna win scoring. It just don't make no sense. Shout out to at Hot with the Shots, Red Hot. People in the podcast are asking, and I think we're just missing it, but people in the podcast are asking, who would you start your franchise with, Anthony Davis or Karl Anthony Towns?
Davis.
I'll take Towns. And this nigga agent.
I'll take Towns.
I wanted to save it till next week, but whatever.
I'll take Towns.
Just for the people in the chat know, that shit was a topic in the well, not the exact topic, but it was a topic in the topic.
I feel like it was similar to Versus, and you guys were like, "Oh, are we done with Versus?" So I was like, "We'll keep it for next week." But
but that's what they were asking in the chat.
Oh, okay, but yeah, I would go with Davis probably.
I'll go with Towns though. You bugging? That man Davis, he hasn't been able to stay healthy for the whole season.
I mean, assuming he didn't get injured though, we can't assume injuries, are we?
I mean, I'm saying I'm
assuming injuries. How could you pick Davis assuming injuries? Because all he's been doing is getting injured. Of course, I'd choose Towns. But assuming in a perfect world where people stay real healthy,
I would still pick Towns actually.
Oh, I'll pick Davis in a healthy world.
I think Towns is a better. They're both really great though. I think Towns. You already know how I feel about Towns. I was going in on Towns last week.
Yeah, I already know. I know. A lot of people in the chat saying AD, SEL.
Nah, it's
Take that bum, AD. Take that bum.
It's Towns, yo. It's Towns.
He's a bum now, Waffle?
He ain't a bum. I don't know about you.
He ain't a bum, but you know what I'm talking about. I mean, take that nigga. Take that bum.
You called him a bum again afterwards, though. Okay. All right, so we can turn around at this point and hit some of the the NFL topics. Pause. Bridgewater's out for season? I don't want any NFL to know any of the news. Waffle, you take over the NFL shit, man.
Well, Teddy Bridgewater is out for the season. If you don't know him, of course, he's the Vikings quarterback. And the Vikings then made a trade with Sam Bradford. Luckily, the Eagles were able to steal a first-round pick from the Vikings. I don't know why they did that trade.
I know that Sanchez is no longer with the Broncos. Who picked him up? Was it Dallas who picked him up?
He's with the Cowboys.
Oh, yeah, he's with Dallas now. So, I mean...
Yeah.
Stop.
Stop. You need to stop.
You see that? That was cringe.
You need to cut it. Yo, you gotta stop.
All right. Waffle, keep going.
I fucking rolled away. I rolled away from my computer screen. That's how much cringe that was.
Jared Goff won't play in the first game for the Rams. They moved to Los Angeles. Don't know why, because they traded all those draft picks for Jared Goff, which kind of doesn't make any sense. And tomorrow's the first game, Panthers versus Broncos. I think the Broncos are going to win, honestly. I mean, the Broncos don't really got a quarterback, but that defense is scary, son.
I don't trust score more than the offense.
I mean, I don't think they have a bad quarterback. I think they can make it through that game.
They lost last year's backup, and then they lost Mark Sanchez.
Well, Mark Sanchez didn't win his starting job anyway, so.
Yeah, but, I mean, now they're just... I mean, it's going to be a lot of question marks there for the quarterback spot for Broncos.
But other than that, Tim Tebow got scouted by 28 baseball teams for no reason. Very unnecessary.
I heard about that.
It was unnecessary.
This is Waffle's weekly NFL scoop. Waffle, why don't you go ahead? We're curious what your weekly NFL scoop is looking like.
I'm just saying, I'm just giving you some highlights to make sure you watch this season. Drew Brees got an extension. Emmanuel Sanders also got an extension, so those guys are going to be locked up. But some games you want to watch this week, of course, the game tomorrow. On Sunday, we got Giants versus Cowboys at 4:25. Sunday Night Football, Patriots versus Cardinals. The Patriots don't have Tom Brady, of course, so you might want to watch that. You might not. And Carson Palmer also played bad in the preseason. And then Monday night, Steelers versus Redskins. People want to see what the Redskins are going to do. You know, Josh Sherman been talking a lot of crap in the offseason. He's got his own talk show during the regular season, so that's kind of crazy as well. And you know, the Steelers don't have Le'Veon Bell, so it's going to be interesting to see who wins that game. And then Eagles versus Browns, Carson Wentz, you know, another guy who's a rookie, and then versus Robert Griffin III in the Browns. You know, that should be an interesting matchup because we think the Eagles are going to be trash, and then we think the Browns are not going to do anything. But someone's got to get a win. When you got two losers together, someone's going to come out a winner.
Okay, is that the end of your scoop?
It's my scoop, boy. Yeah.
You should have an outro for the weekly Waffles weekly NFL scoop.
I mean, yo, I'm gonna be winning that fantasy, boy. I put $50 on FanDuel this week, son. It's about to be lit.
Wow.
But I come out 200,000.
How's 45,000 in the last 10 years if you can't even? Oh, anyway,
200,000 will last me 15.
You're bugging. You gotta stop. You gotta stop saying stuff like that.
It wouldn't last me 15.
You gotta stop saying stuff like that, man.
15?
No.
Nigga, I'm like 18. I don't know what you're talking about.
What does that mean?
You know what? I'm taking this out of context because I just realized what I'm saying now. I forgot to add my age into the equation. So in 10 years I'd be 30 years old. So that makes sense.
Wow, I'm glad you just thought of that.
He's gonna be for 10 years just living with his mom's house with no kids.
No. I thought I was just gonna be like 10 years. I'm still gonna be 20 years old. But I realized by 10 years I'll be 30. You know what I'm saying?
Brain kicked in, right?
Yeah, so you know what? 45K will last me like 2 years.
There you go. That makes more sense. There you go. Off of 45K for 2 years. That makes
more than 2 years. I don't know about all that. Anyway, yo, are we gonna get into pause? Can we talk about real quick how Fredo uploaded a video in the park versus Archie Goodwin, NBA player. Archie Goodwin was a Legend 5. Can we talk about work ethic real quick? How the fuck did he get Legend 5 on 2K and
He's
also
a
be an
NBA player?
But do you understand how long it takes to get to Legend 5?
Yeah, Ronnie 2K is the legend.
I'm assuming somebody sold him an account because there's no way he actually.
They probably did. They probably did though.
They just grant them accounts.
That's what I'm saying. They probably just gave him an account.
I mean, he should have. I think he should have an NBA logo by his name. Well, obviously not in the game, but if you see him walking around, he should have an NBA logo next to his name.
Someone in the chat said Archie's a bench player. What else is he gonna do? Practice so he can start one day?
Oh shit!
Fuck.
He's a role player. He's not a bench player. Yo, chill, man. Come on.
Wow.
I think mad like role players, fucking bench players play 2K.
Are we gonna get into the 2K? You have a whole half podcast for 2K.
That's a good amount of shit, boy.
I mean, I'm down to what do you want to do? This is your channel.
Well, say it again.
Do you want to talk about 2K for the next 40 minutes?
How long?
It's not gonna be 40 minutes.
It's gonna be 40 minutes. Look at all these topics, man.
No, it's not.
How long we been in here? Hour and a half?
Yeah,
Hour 20. Or should you do a 2K pod on your channel?
Let's do the highlights. How about that? We do a highlight.
You can make a 2K pod on your channel. Be like NBA 2K17 hype pod.
As soon as we get done with this, we'll just go to your channel and do a NBA.
Yeah, boy.
A 2K pod.
I want to do a whole podcast. If I can split this up into videos and get way more views, yo, come on, yo, come on.
It's not, yo, we can go to your channel.
Necessary.
That's what I'm saying. We can go to your channel.
I'm doing a random podcast at 11 fucking p.m.
Who cares?
The guy who owns the channel does.
People gonna watch it, nigga.
You're crazy. People gonna watch it, yo. Come on, stop.
If I do a podcast, it wouldn't be live on 2K anyway. I'll do it off air.
I find we'll do it off air real quick and we'll record it.
I can talk about all this shit on its own and title it so beautifully to get some views.
Okay, you can read.
Anyway,
you can talk about it. Everybody not gonna watch a podcast.
Lo, are we going to talk about these topics here?
This is my channel. I got concerned about my channel. I can't put 2K on my channel. That's what you saying.
One of these topics say fuck Asian.
Man, what? Exactly. Fuck this nigga Asian.
All right, if you wanna talk about 2K, I mean I'll spit in, but you can host the convo. Waffle. Go ahead.
Well, what's going on with this? Are you still doing the mock draft? Or the draft?
Mock draft later tonight if you guys are down. Yeah.
Wait, but when is the draft then?
We can just join a random draft on the NFL website.
Wait, are you making a draft though? Or you
No. You just join one. You just join in one.
No, I'm talking about the
He not
draft.
making-
Oh yeah. I'm definitely commissioner. I need the power.
Wow.
So when is that? Is it gonna be tonight or tomorrow?
I'll make it tonight, and then we'll tweet about it tomorrow.
Well, I'll just let people know right now.
We have to scout the people though. We can't just take anybody.
Well, just say you gotta put in $2.
I mean, just hit us up on Twitter. Hit
You
Low up
gotta
on
put in
Twitter.
$2. Oh,
That's how they're gonna be serious, bro.
Hit up Low. Yeah, we might actually have to do like a $5 to get in thing. But we want people who are serious about, and you don't have to be like the crazy, because keep in mind, like I barely know shit about the NFL, and my favorite players are gone. But just be serious about at least learning or sticking through it. Like if you know you're gonna stick through it, and then even if like there's a $5 entry fee, there should be like a $30 prize, some shit like that at the end. We'll probably have around 10 to 14 teams, so it won't be that deep of a league, which I'd like it a little bit better that way.
That's deep already. That's already deep. Well, I mean, it's 10 players is good.
All right. So hit up Low on Twitter. Like, obviously, Low, you always want people to follow you, so you can do that. Low, add that link in the description for people. But you can just type in Legend of Winning on Twitter, you'll find it, or just leave it in the chat.
Man, they can hit anybody up on Twitter.
I'm gonna say you can with anybody, but I mean that's cool.
All right. So we'll do it through there, and we'll send the invites out tonight, and then the draft will likely be tomorrow. But we're not gonna switch up the time, so at least make sure you can be there for the draft. We'll do it after people come back from school, at least, that way. So anyway, well, I'm done talking. If y'all want to go ahead and talk about some other shit, y'all can go ahead now.
No, I'm good.
All right. I'm good too, but
all right, we'll end the pod here. Don't call me baby boy ever again.
baby cakes.
We'll do the concluding statements now. We'll start off with Waffle, and I just cringed whoever just whispered.
Very, very sad moment this week. Well, not this week.
What happened?
Not sure when it's gonna happen. Either this week or within the next 1 or 2 weeks. If you guys know anything and are a real man, then you'll be very sad that the Naruto anime is ending, bro.
That's what you're sad about?
That are you fucking crazy?
You should be happy about that, yo. You should be happy.
Happy for what? What are you happy for?
Because because you need to hurry up and wrap up. You need to wrap that stuff up, yo.
Nah, nigga, this shit is part of the life of a man, son.
They need to hurry and wrap that thing up. Yo. That
Shit, I remember watching this shit back in the day, 2006, 2005, and like elementary school. You serious, bro? I went through high school with this shit, bro. That shit crazy, and that was about to end. But a new segment's gonna begin soon, so we got something to look forward to. Well, I mean, anyways, 2K Preload comes out on Friday. Park Guard, of course, is in here. We were playing before. I whooped this nigga Legend's ass.
Is that supposed to be you?
You beat me one. I beat you in that last game one.
Nigga, I beat you twice.
You beat me 2 games.
Exactly, nigga.
But I wasn't my big. I wasn't my big though. I was my big. I wasn't my power forward and stuff.
It don't matter. Bottom line, I'm a winner. You're the loser. Everybody knows that. I'm a loser. All right, I'm out. Peace.
Wow. Low, what is your concluding statement, man?
First of all, it's my channel. I go last.
Bitch, do your concluding
I go last. It's
all right. Y'all, it's just your boy Agent Zero. What's good with y'all? It's pretty late. Y'all staying up. Y'all watched this far in the pod, especially if you watched the whole way through. Thank you. This was more sporadic. We're supposed to do it yesterday, so I know not everyone could have caught it live, which I guess makes sense. But I hope everyone who's back in school doesn't want to kill themselves already. I just had like a ton of class today, but taking how I'll have class Thursday or Friday, like my weekend started, so I have a pretty blessed schedule.
You got the waffle schedule.
I got the waffle schedule, yeah. So anyway, I don't know how to end this shit. It's been the double agent. I was gonna catch you guys in the next pod, 9:30 p.m. on Tuesdays.
Whoa.
What?
This man didn't even say anything.
Yeah. I'll just do my outro. Go ahead, Lo. This is you.
I'll tell you because he need to go second to last. I go last. It's my channel.
Fuck you.
My channel, boy.
Fuck your channel is overrated.
Shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to the young boy D Brown Shinhan for the 1,000K he got not too long
and
ago.
Shout out to Low for 20,000. Sorry to cut you off.
Can you get the soundboard, please, sir? Get the soundboard.
Where's the soundboard at, man?
Get that man his applause. But y'all gotta say get D Brown Shinhan 1,000K. There you go. Waffle Man 10K. Face.
Oh,
You're so bugging.
I wanted to do that.
like I said, he knows what he thought I was gonna say. I got 20K, and he's gonna hit me with that. Get out of here, yo.
Nah,
And then I got 20K. Agent got 50. He got 5K within like what 2-3 weeks now. Like that's how.
Yo, what's wrong with you?
But I say all that to say that people out here making moves, we out here growing, we out here making progress, and everybody, I think we all respond and give big thanks to the fans and the supporters and the people who view the videos and share them and like and all that other stuff. Look out for Waffle Man's video and look out for me to critique Waffle Man's video because he's about to be so wrong in this video. He's about to talk
nigga,
about
that video up is an upload. You guys can go on the channel right now and click on it so I can get
that.
that.
It is? Yo,
I need that.
Wow.
Give me that.
You're
bugging.
bugging. You're bugging, yo. You're bugging.
That's how it is, nigga. I'm a black nigga looking for pay.
And later on in the week, look out for the foremost underrated players of all time. Look out for Y2000s are the best decade. Cavaliers trading Kevin Love. All new stuff, man.
Wait. Can I cut you off one more time? Can you give us one of the players on the underrated list? A sneak peek for the people on the pod.
Mark Aguirre. Mark Aguirre.
Say a word. That was Waffle who did that.
Don't
all right. We got one of the players.
You don't even know who that is, do you?
Nah, I saw him on 2K, so I know.
Wait, isn't he a small forward?
Yeah.
I know that. I know what that faggot is. That nigga a bum.
Oh wow.
Okay.
He a bum, but he putting up 25 just like Melo, right?
Yeah,
he leading the team to the
wow.
he leading the team to the players like Melo, right? All right, that's what I thought.
All right. Well, you're gonna have to do a lot of convincing on that one. Where'd he go? Did he leave? Do we have to end his pod? He muted himself. A couple somebodies.
Oh, I didn't mean to mute myself. What the hell?
Yeah, I was gonna spit some Drake lyrics while you were gone. Go ahead, and end your pod, man.
But yeah, but shout out.
I muted you. You had to know that in your place.
Yo, stop. Yeah, you're bugging. How can you mute me? Man, get the fuck out of here. And we'll see y'all next week, man.
Later, yeah.